and very welcome. I got a new amplifier and I forgot to start recording because when I started messing with it there was a little problem. So let's get to that now. I really should have picked up the camera before now, but basically the amp had a problem where that the left channel was significantly weaker than the right channel. So this thing is all modular in the way that it's put together. So I have the amp out here and I think I found the problem. It mentioned in the service manual that if there was no output from one channel or the other, now it did say none, that the problem was most likely this transistor here. So there's not really much in the line of a schematic or whatever, but I'm guessing that this must something to do with the bias. But basically, long story short, I took out that transistor and I tested it on my little checker, and it basically had a HFE which was almost 100 less than the one on the right. So what I did then was I said, right, okay, I have 5 sets of parts here because there's 5 amplifiers. So what I done was I pulled the same transistor out of the center channel and I tested it, and it had the same gain as the one from the right channel. So you can guess what's coming next. I swapped the center channel transistor into the left channel, and I put the one that was originally in the left channel into the center channel, just in case it's needed there to keep the circuit complete or whatever, so that the rest of it would work. So what I'm at now is I have it all back together. I just have to solder in all the pins for the main transistors, which I've tested, and they all test fine. HFE is the same on them all. Everything is perfect. They're all matched exactly. So I'm going to solder this back together and fire it back into it and see what happens. Right, so damped back in, and little confused. Despite there being a difference of a significant difference between those two transistors in HFE of almost 100, the symptom still persists. So that got me to thinking, well, right, okay, if the amp is okay, and I checked all the output transistors and they're okay, and I still have low output on the on that side, I said to myself, right, I wonder is the problem in the preamp. So what I did was I pulled out these two jumpers, which they go, they go there between the main in and the pre-out. So basically what I'm doing here is I'm feeding the amplifier directly. So I'm coming in, sorry, I'm about to hand. So you're coming straight through, bypassing the preamp, and coming on here straight into the amplifier section, and that is working. Both channels are the same. Okay, so you get the idea. I just on the test speakers there, the Pioneers on the top at the minute. So that got me thinking then. I said, right, okay, the way I do have this set up here, I have the JVC here and I have the Sony here because I like to listen to the radio sometimes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the Sherwood up there on the top shelf. Oh, that up there is where this beastie is going to live. We're going to have a little bit of a reconfiguration here. So this amp and the big speakers, they are just for the PC. And what we'll do is we'll hook these, the JVC and the Sony together, as I like listening to that Sony radio. And I will connect them into the Pioneers. And that leaves these bench mounted speakers here. They'll do for if I have something on the bench to test. So speakers for all occasions here at my shed. So there we go. So I have it all connected up here. and you can see that's all it's getting there at the minute. Yeah, so happy enough with that. Now I did try an experiment before I rigged it up the way it is here. What I was trying to do was I was going to try and drive the Sherwood with the JVC, giving it a very small signal from the PC, but even at the lowest output it just was way too much for the second you turned it on you were just getting an awful lot of hiss. So if I pause that and bring up my volume, full whack, nothing, zero. So yeah, so that's good. So like what I'm using it for up there now is exactly what I wanted anyway. I wouldn't have been using any of the other, I wouldn't have been using it for surround sound or whatever. This thing allegedly puts out 100 watts a channel, and it is very clear and crisp sound. We're quite pleased with it, so a special thanks to Derek, EI9HSB. He donated this to the cause, and he wanted to see it going to a good home, so it's living here in the hi-fi section. As you can see, the whole place back together. Everything is hooked up as it was, and we're going to do a bit of a high volume test now. So, it's working well. That's it for this video. We'll get you in the next one.